welcome to Thrive Talks, and we have here with us today Shruti Shankar Kumar, who's a yoga instructor and also a singer, Carnatic singer, who performs even now, day in and day out, actually speaking. So we've been having very, very interesting conversations, and now we're going to actually talk about, again, something which is very personal to me. It's called embodiment and introception. So what does these two words actually mean? Embodiment is from, again, a sense of yoga and therapy. It's basically being fully present in our physical body, being fully here. And I think that's very important when it comes to sport. Of course, when it comes to yoga as well. And introception actually means being able to understand and be aware of one's internal bodily feelings. So, for example, heart rate being higher at some point, lower at some point, at least to know, okay, you know what, I'm actually panting, or my heart rate might actually be high, or I might be feeling relaxed. That is introception in very basic terms. And we are going to talk about how yoga can kind of facilitate this kind of awareness and help us with that, especially in terms of sport. So that's what we're going to talk about. How do you think athletes can actually build interoceptive awareness, again from a yoga perspective?
So one of the fundamental theories that we try to incorporate in our yoga practice is to actually say you are practicing for an hour and you split your time into 45 minutes of asana practice with 15 minutes of pranayama and meditation. The purpose behind the entire time spent is to be there with your body and with your breath in that moment. So obviously 1 hour is a long time to be with that complete state of focus to start off with, but eventually the goal is to get to a point of where you can actually spend an hour or 90 minutes being completely focused with what's happening inside the body and with what's happening with the breathing and with your heart rate and everything. So a nice place to begin is to actually practice your asanas with purpose, with intent to understand what your body is going through at that point of
time. That's brilliant.
Yes. So for example, I have students who start off new, say they cannot get into a deep forward fold. They have to, I try to make them understand as to what is holding them back. So it's easy to say that, okay, I have tight hamstrings, I have tight glutes, or my spine is not flexible enough. That's fine. That is something that is obvious and that can be understood by everybody. But more deeper awareness of are you in a mental state where you are subconsciously tightening your body, which is impacting your practice at that point of time. Or if you take a simple balancing posture, like say Vrikshasana tree pose, I have a lot of students sometimes who can easily get into a headstand, but they wobble a lot when they are doing the tree pose. Simple thing is because at that point of time, their mind is not there in that moment. They are going somewhere else. The thoughts are somewhere else and it's not focused on that posture at that time. Even for taking a simple posture, your ankles have to be engaged at that point, your knees have to be engaged, at your legs, like you have to engage particular parts of the body for each pose. Absolutely. Which I feel it really helps to understand your body and make that body part very intentional and very connected to the posture, rather than just looking at the posture as something purely aesthetic or something that is just looks good. So rather than looking at it that way, a very good place to actually start understanding your body and what's going on even in like the small muscles that are there inside is to practice with awareness, practice with intention, whatever you're doing. It can be just a simple posture. You don't have to go upside down to focus. You can focus even in the simplest postures and try to understand your body. So I think that's a good place to start as far as the yoga practice is concerned.
Brilliant. I love how you spoke about this as a journey and not really an end result. And I think we need to start looking at it that way a lot more than, progress a lot more than perfection.
True.
Right? Okay. Do you see movement helping athletes or generally people process emotions or any kind of suppressed emotions? Because we've seen this quite a bit with DMT, dance movement therapy, and all of that. Yes. But does that help in yoga as well?
I think yoga definitely does help, other than the obvious, how slow breathing, what we discussed previously, that is of course there. But again, if you look at it from the physical asana practice point of view, There are postures which help to invigorate, there are postures which help to calm. So we need to again understand our state of mind and understand what the body needs at that point of time. You should eventually, over time, try to build an understanding of yourself, both mentally and physically, what your body needs at that point of time, and you have to integrate both. For example, mentally, I may be ready to do a very intense practice that day. I may have had like a very dull day and I want to do kind of
Yeah,
a
a lot
rigorous
more.
practice, but
Yeah.
I may not be at a physical state where I can actually do something like that on that day.
Yeah.
So I need to have that sync between my mind state and how my
Makes
body
sense.
feels at that point of time.
Yeah.
So it's good to understand that first. And of course, like say I want to have an energetic practice, I will structure my practice in such a way that the body feels refreshed but not tired. So I should find that balance and
Yeah.
do that. And of course, there are postures which really help to calm down the body,
Yeah.
which will, so for example, when I do a very intense posture like a balancing asana or a deep back bend, it's difficult for anybody to regulate the breathing too much, because the abdomen has become stretched at that point of time, and or when you're doing a balancing, you're tightening your core too much, and at that
Breathing
point
is
of time,
definitely-
breathing is little bit of a challenge. So that's why we cannot hold some postures for a very long time. But say I want to calm myself down and I want to prepare myself to do a good pranayama practice, there are postures which will help to aid that. So say I get into a nice deep forward, but I'm going to stay there for a long time. In fact, it actually ends up, sometimes it can end up stimulating the vagus nerve also. So where you can actually really control the heart rate, it will slow down so much, and you actually end up taking only 2 or 3 breaths in a minute.
Yeah.
So and that, you know, and that helps to make the pranayama practice that much better.
Deeper.
So when I finished that, and then my pranayama has gone to another level once I finished that practice. So I think these are definitely ways in which athletes can incorporate yoga, both as an asana practice as well as the breathing practice.
And
of
it
course,
also helps
yes,
regulate the
yes,
emotions as well really
Yes.
well. Yeah, that's so perfect, no? I mean, I think if we look at this as a process, even if they can start off with once a week,
true.
right, and can integrate this with the breathing and maybe even just the introspection as part of their everyday activity, I think that itself will make a massive difference, isn't it?
Of course, like the whole point is to kind of build a consistent practice.
Yeah.
Consistency again can vary for everybody, because
Absolutely.
for me it may be 5 days a week, for somebody else it may be
Once
once
a
a
week.
week, but which is okay. Like
Yeah.
that is still absolutely fine, and
Yeah.
the objective is more to take the best that yoga
Yeah.
has to offer
Yeah.
in such a way that it supports whatever you
Whatever
are
they
doing.
want to do.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Lovely. I think this has been really, really good. The next few episodes are going to be about your music journey, which I'm very curious about, and how this supports your voice and expression and all of that. So thank you so much. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot for watching.